my name is Jenna and welcome to day 5 of BOOKMAS. Today's BOOKMAS topic is the top 10 most anticipated releases you have for 2021. I am super excited for some of the books that are coming out this year. I absolutely cannot wait. I'm always really bad at keeping up with new releases, however, but I have compiled a list of 10 books that I am stupidly excited to read in the new year. But first, if you do not know what BOOKMAS is, it is something that was created by HAILEY from the channel HAILEY and BOOKLAND. I will leave a link to her channel in the description box below. Definitely go and check her out. She is doing 31 videos this month to celebrate Christmas and the end of the year wrap-ups. However, I am only doing 6 videos because 31 is, you know, a lot. So we're gonna stick with our 6. So jumping straight in at number 10, we have The World Between Blinks by Amie, Kaufman and Ryan Graudin. I believe this one comes out in January, February, depending on where you are in the world. I think it comes out in America before it comes out in Australia. This is a middle grade novel which follows two cousins, Jake and Marisol. Because I am not great at summarizing books that I don't know a lot about, I am planning on just reading you guys the synopsis for most of these books, so we're just gonna get started with The World Between Blinks, which is: discover a magical world where lost things are found. Whenever cousins Jake and Marisol get together, adventure follows. They have their late Nana to thank for that. Her epic trips and treasure hunts were the stuff of family legend. This summer, with the whole family reuniting for one last vacation at Nana's home, the cousins are in for a legendary trip of their own. Following a map Nana left behind, Jake and Marisol sneak out to a nearby lighthouse, then accidentally slip into another world. The World Between Blinks is a magical place where all kinds of lost things and people end up. Everywhere they turn, the cousins find real mysteries from history, plus a few they thought were only myths. But the man who holds the key to Jake and Marisol's return journey doesn't want to be found, and if the cousins don't catch him fast, they could end up lost in this world for good. It sounds like an incredibly fun, fast-paced story, and I know Amie has written in middle grade before. I don't know about Ryan. I've only read one of Ryan's books before, but I absolutely loved it. I do like Amie as an author, so I feel like their writing styles are going to mesh really well together, and I'm always up for a good middle grade because they can sometimes just be a nice break from all of the harder themes that you read in a lot of YA fiction. This one is just going to be a fun time, and I'm really excited about it. Coming in at number 9, we have The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This is the surprise 4th book in the Truly Devious series. I originally thought Truly Devious was a standalone and then found out that it was a series, and then I thought it was just a trilogy, but no, apparently there's a 4th book coming. Because this is the 4th book in the series, and I technically haven't read the 2nd or the 3rd book in the series yet either, I'm not going to tell you guys the synopsis of this one because I don't want to spoil you or myself, but we will talk about the synopsis for the 1st book in the series, Truly Devious, which follows a character named Stevie as she attends a prestigious boarding school for the first time. At this boarding school, years previously, there was an unsolved mystery which was either a kidnapping or a murder. I can never quite remember which one, and the culprit was never caught because all they left behind was a note that was signed Truly Devious. So Stevie attends this school and is attempting to solve the decades-old mystery while also sort of falling into a modern-day mystery as well. The 1st book was incredible and so much fun, and I'm really hoping to get to the 2nd and the 3rd one in 2021, and I absolutely cannot wait for the 4th book. Coming in at number 8, we have You'll Be the Death of Me by M.McManus. This one doesn't technically have a synopsis yet, but it is marketed as a YA murder mystery meets Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Follows 3 estranged friends who skip school and get caught up in a crime that they cannot solve without revealing their own secrets. I have recently, in the last year or so, realized that I really like YA mystery thrillers, and I really enjoy Karen M.McManus's works. I've read all of her books now and they're all incredible and so much fun, so I'm really looking forward to this next one. Coming in at number 7, we have A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. So this book is the sequel slash companion novel, I guess, to the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. This one is going to be following Nesta, who is Feyre's older sister. Pretty sure it's her older sister. It's been a minute. And this one, I'm not really sure how I feel about this book. I absolutely loved the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. I thought it was fantastic. I didn't love A Court of Frost and Starlight. Was that the random little novella we had that didn't really need to be there? And now we have this book coming out, and I am really excited about it. While I believe that the Court of Thorns and Roses series was YA, I do believe that A Court of Silver Flames is going to be adult fantasy, which means there will be a lot more adult themes. I'm expecting it to be a hell of a chunk of a book because Sarah doesn't seem to be able to write anything apart from chonkers. Not that I'm complaining, it's just that's what I'm expecting. So I do really want to read you guys the synopsis for this one because it does sound incredible, but there might be slight spoilers for A Court of Thorns and Roses all the way up until A Court Court of Frost and Starlight. So I'm gonna, I don't know, hold up my hand as if I'm giving you a high five, and once I put my hand down, you can unmute the video if you don't want spoilers for that series. So here we go. Nesta Archeron has always been prickly proud, swift to anger, and slow to forgive. And ever since being forced into the cauldron and becoming high fae against her will, she struggled to find a place for herself within the strange, deadly world she inhabits. Worse, she can't seem to move past the horrors of the war with Highburn and all she lost in it. The one person who ignites her temper more than any other is Cassian, the battle-scarred warrior whose position in Rhysand and Feyre's Night Court keeps him constantly in Nesta's orbit. But her temper isn't the only thing Cassian ignites. The fire between them is undeniable and only burns hotter as they are forced into close quarters with each other. Meanwhile, the treacherous human queens who returned to the continent during the last war have forged a dangerous new alliance, threatening the fragile peace that has settled over the realms. And the key to halting them might very well rely on Cassian and Nesta facing their haunting pasts. Against the sweeping backdrop of a world seared by war and plagued with uncertainty, Nesta and Cassian battle monsters from within and without as they search for acceptance and healing in each other's arms. I mean, it sounds amazing and so good, and I cannot wait for it. Coming in at number 6, we have Lakesedge by Lyndall Clipstone. This is a brand new debut novel from Lyndall. She is a friend from my book club. I am so incredibly excited for her book to come out. So proud. It sounds amazing. You guys have no idea. She's been talking about it so much, and every time she talks about it, I just sit here and go, I need to read it. It is a YA gothic romance, and it just sounds incredible. I believe it's a retelling of The Secret Garden meets Labyrinth? I'm not entirely sure. I know that Secret Garden has been mentioned, and I'm gonna read you guys the synopsis because it sounds so freaking good. A lush gothic fantasy about monsters and magic set on the banks of a cursed lake. There are monsters in the world. When Violetta Gracing arrives at haunted Lakesedge estate, she expects to find a monster. She knows the terrifying rumors about Rowan Silverman, who drowned his entire family when he was a boy. But neither the estate nor the monster are what they seem. There are monsters in the woods. As Lita falls for Rowan, she discovers he is bound to the Lord Under, the sinister death god lurking in the black waters of the lake, a creature to whom Lita is inexplicably drawn. There's a monster in the shadows, and now it knows my name. To save Rowan and herself, Lita must confront the darkness in her past, including unraveling the mystery of her connection to the Lord Under. It sounds incredible. I know Lyndall's whole thing is she wants to write about girls kissing monsters, and like, I am all so here for that, and I absolutely cannot freaking wait to read her book. It sounds so good. I know she's been working on it for years, and I've had friends who have read like early copies and they're like, it's so good, and I'm really, 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 really excited for this novel. Coming in at number 5, we have A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Brigid Kemmerer. This is the third and final book in the Curse So Dark and Lonely series, and I'm so excited. So the first book in this series is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and then from the second one onwards it's sort of not anymore. So the first book follows a girl named Harper as she is brought over to this new world and is sort of meant to break this curse that this prince is under. Very basic plot, basically Beauty and the Beast, but as things go on, secrets get revealed, and then we get new characters, and it's just so good. This next book in the series is going to have 4 different points of view, so we're going to be seeing Harper, Ren, Grey, and Leomara, and I don't know how that's possible to write 4 different points of view, for one thing. And number 2, I'm really, really excited to see how this is all going to wrap up, because the end of the second book was wow, big cliffhanger, and me just sitting here going, I can't process this right now. So coming in at number 4, we have Vulture by Bex Hogan. This is the third and final book in the Viper trilogy, although I don't think that's what the trilogy is called. Got Isles of Storm and Sorrow, I believe, and I'm really, really looking forward to this one. So it is a pirate book, and not only have pirate books sort of been like resuming themselves this year, but also they've been really knocking it out of the park, and I love that. I love everything about it. So this third book obviously takes place after the second book, and the end of the second book had such a big cliffhanger that I remember finishing it and just going, but how can there be a third book? Like, it's not possible for there to be a third book now, but there is, and so I'm really, really excited to see how that all pans out. The characters in this series are so complex, and they all just backstab each other, and that's something that I absolutely love and can totally get behind-ish. So as this is the third book in the series, I'm not going to be telling you too much about it in particular, but I will give you a little bit of backstory as to what Viper is about. Viper is the first book. Viper follows a girl named Marianne. She is 17 years old, and she is one day destined to become the Viper. The only problem is that the current Viper is what is standing in her way. He is one of the most dangerous men on the sea, and he just happens happens to be Marianne's father. She was born to protect the Isles, and that is what she is trying to do. However, things always seem to get in her way, and now she's sort of wondering, is she willing to lose everything in order to save the home that she loves? It is a great series. It's got some interesting pacing elements to it, and I don't know how I feel about that, but all in all, the series so far has been incredible, and I cannot wait to see how it ends up. Coming in at number 3, we have a book that I am sure everyone is absolutely sick of seeing on my list of most anticipated books, and that is Stormbreak by Natalie C. Parker. Stormbreak is the third and final book in the Seafire trilogy, and it was originally meant to come out in 2020. However, the release date has been pushed back to the 9th of February. So guess what? It's going on my anticipated 2021 new releases list because I am so freaking excited for this book. It's gonna be incredible and so good, and I cannot wait to read it. Again, as this is the third and final book in the series, I won't tell you too much about that because I don't want to spoil anybody, but the series follows a girl named Caledonia Styx whose entire family was murdered, and now she and her badass group of female pirates are sailing the seas trying to overthrow a king and to save as many people as they can. It is so far been incredible. There have been moments that I have just not seen coming, been incredible times where I've just sat there and gone, I don't want anything bad to happen to any of them. I love them all so much. This world is really interesting as well. It is definitely one that I would not want to live in, as most fantasy series are not places you would want to live, but this one in particular, it's just so great. The cast of characters is incredible. They're all badass, and I have loved both books in the series. Absolutely cannot wait to find out how it all wraps up. Coming in at number 2, we have The Black Volume of the Dead by Cassandra, Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the third and possibly final book in the Eldest Curses series. I'm pretty sure they were only doing the 3, but I'm not like 100% sure. This is what I lovingly dub the Malik books. It is the books that follow Magnus and Alec after the events of, well, the first book followed them after the events of City of Glass, and then this next one I think followed them after the events of like the Dark Artificers, which I have not read. So I just get spoiled left, right and center for these books, but I absolutely do not care. They have been so much fun, really great. This last one in particular was amazing because we got to see such a variety of characters. So I cannot wait to see where things go in the third and possibly final book. And then coming in at number 1, my number 1 most anticipated read of the year is actually 2 books, because the author was like, hey, I'm revealing the cover of my book too, you know, and there's a reason for that. And we all went, what have you done? And then the author revealed the second book and was like, surprise, it's coming out in October. So we're having the first book release in April, second book release in October, and I cannot wait. And this is The Prison Healer and The Gilded Cage, both by Lynette Noni. This is a new fantasy series from Lynette, one that I have not had a chance to read as of yet, and I am stupidly excited for it. It's been a whole year without a new Noni book, and I need Noni in my life. I'll read you the synopsis for The Prison Healer. There's not one up for Gilded Cage, because like, why would there be? So here we go. 17-year-old Kiva Meriden has spent the last 10 years fighting for survival in the notorious death prison Zalandov, working as the prison healer. When the rebel queen is captured, Kiva is charged with keeping the terminally ill woman alive long enough for her to undergo the trial by ordeal, a series of elemental challenges against the torments of air, fire, water and earth, assigned to only the most dangerous of criminals. Then a coded message from Kiva's family arrives, containing a single order. Don't let her die, we are coming. Aware that the trials will kill the sickly queen, Kiva risks her own life to volunteer in her place. If she succeeds, both she and the queen will be granted their freedom, but no one has ever survived. With an incurable plague sweeping Zalandov, a mysterious new inmate fighting for Kiva's heart, and a prison rebellion brewing, Kiva can't escape the terrible feeling that her trials have only just begun. I mean, how good does that sound, y'all? I'm so freaking excited. I'm so excited. And the cover is incredible. And then the cover of Gilded Cage is just as beautiful. And I need these books in my life. And there we go. Those are my top 10/11, technically, most anticipated new releases for 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below which book you are most looking forward to in 2021, because I would absolutely love to know. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. See you random. Bye.